Hi there, my fine students. We are at the last week of labs. You've almost made it. In this week's lab, one of the questions on the lab assignment asks you to draw the main organs of the digestive system. Usually, when we are in lab on campus, we make it out of clay, but obviously I can't assume that all of you have different colored clay lying around. So we're gonna have you draw it. Yay. Now listen, this is not an art class. Certainly I am no artist. However, I think the exercise, actually I know, the exercise of drawing these organs out, making sure they're in the anatomically correct place, I think it's a good way to learn the anatomy. So bear with me. When you do this, go ahead and find a sheet of paper. Make sure you do it by hand. I don't want this to be done on a computer. So find a sheet of paper, get a pen. Some of you overachievers might want to have colored pencils, and that's fine too. Go ahead and draw it out, label it, and then take a picture of it or save whatever, scan it in, and send it to me as part of your lab assignment for the week. Now, if I was going to do it, nothing fancy, but there's a list of 12 structures you have to include. So you may want to start from the top, and I know you've covered this with Dr. Kelly. If it were me, I'm a terrible drawer. Here's my nose, my mouth, and here's my face, right? There's the eyeball. This guy's smiling, and he's got some hair like me, right? So you can start there. You can even do a stick figure, or you can just draw the organs as they are. As you go along, you want to label, and you can do this any way you like. I might label this as the oral cavity, because it is the oral cavity. Let's say that I want to continue going down. The oral cavity is going to lead into the pharynx, which then leads into the esophagus, which then is going to lead into the stomach. Now, clearly I'm no artist. You can see that, right? So I might label this as the pharynx. You're not going to say throat. We're going to use the anatomically correct words. I might label this as the esophagus. Okay, you can see where I'm going with this. I might want to have a place where this... Oh, can I erase on this thing? See, I'm learning just like you are. And then I might have the stomach going into the small intestine, which goes into the large intestine, and so forth, right? I want you to be sure that you label everything. So as I've been doing, I would call this the stomach. But I also want to make sure that you have everything in its anatomically correct position. So for example, when you get to the accessory organs, the liver, the gallbladder, the stomach also, you want to make sure that they are on the appropriate side. We went over this in the heart. When you look at something anatomically, you always label the right and left side as it would be on that person. So on this person, this is their right side, and this is their left side. Maybe it'd be helpful for you to even label that in your own drawing. When I look at it, and when you look at it in this video, what you see as left is actually your right. But remember, we always are labeling it by what it would be on that person. So to that end, I know, and we know from our lab on the organization of the body, the stomach is in the upper left quadrant. So that's why I have it more on the left. When I go to put the liver in, maybe this is my liver, right? The liver is going to be in the upper right quadrant. So you want to make sure that you are putting these organs on the appropriate side as it would be on that person. Lastly, make sure that you try and do a reasonable job of proportion. In this drawing, maybe my liver's a little too big, but the liver is generally a little bit bigger than the stomach. I'm not going to get out a ruler, but I want you to make it somewhat proportional. You'll see the list in the lab. I'm not going to draw everything out because I want to leave some to you. But this is the assignment. It's not art class, so don't stress too much. But it's a good way for us to learn where everything is. All right, good luck, folks.